In the last video, we looked at an introduction to Widal test. Widal test is used to detect antibodies in the patient's serum. We already will have pre-made antigens, which we will have possibly fixed on these wells, okay, on the slide, possibly fixed. You might get a commercially ready plate, and to which you will add the antibodies, and there will be an agglutination based on which you can say whether the patient is having typhoid or not. We already saw that how to interpret the results also we have seen. Just we have to tell you how to get these antigens, how to prepare them, etc. The antigens that we are going to use, we have mentioned already. The fact that O antigen is heat stable and H is heat labile, this will help us in preparation. It will help us in preparation of these antigens. Okay. So we are going to focus on that one now. First of all, what strains are used? You are going to use these strains. You are going to use these strains. Salmonella typhi 901, Salmonella paratyphi A, Salmonella paratyphi B. From Salmonella typhi, we are going to take the O antigen. The O antigen which we are going to use is 12, right? Because 12 is common to all typhi, paratyphi A and B. So we will take 12. O antigen you have to take. Now, how will you get this O antigen? See, now Salmonella typhi, you will remove the VI antigen. Then you will have to remove the H antigen. To remove the H antigen, you will use phenol agar. Phenol agar, what will it do? It will make sure that the H is dropped, correct? So, OH will become O. You have seen this in antigenic variation. Now that you have this O, you take this growth, mix it with alcohol, heat it, centrifuge it, resuspend in saline and add chloroform as a preservative. So, you got your O antigen. Just repeat, you have the bacteria, you put it on phenol agar, OH will become O. Now, you take this, mix it with alcohol, heat it, centrifuge it, suspend it in saline, add chloroform as preservative, you got your O antigen. Okay. So, you are having these strains of bacteria to make the antigens. You yourself have the bacteria. The antibodies are coming from the patient. Now, you want to check if they will react. Then you know the patient has antibodies to this bacteria. Okay. Now, the procedure you have slide and tube. Slide we have already explained how to read this in the previous video. Just look at that. Now, in this, let us move on to tube. Tube. This is serial dilution. In the test tubes, you will do serial dilution. Now, you have to do this 4 times. For each antigen, you have to check which antigen is there. So, for each antigen, you have to do this. Okay. Now, let us say we are doing for one of the antigens. Just focus here. Let me tell you what exactly we are doing here. See here. In the first test tube, you are taking 0.1 ml of the patient's serum and you are also taking 1.9 ml of saline. In all the others, you are taking 1 ml of saline. You know how to start, right? First, you take saline in saline in all of them. 1.9 ml in the first one, 1 ml in the remaining. Okay. This much, is it clear? To the first one, now you add patient's serum. Patient's serum just 0.1 ml. How much? Just 0.1 ml. Are you focusing? Please pay attention here if you are sleeping. So, I am telling you again, take 8 test tubes. First test tube, you put 1.9 ml of saline. Remaining all test tubes, you put 1 ml of saline. In the first test tube, put just 0.1 ml of the patient's serum. Just 0.1 ml of patient serum. This will be a 1:20 titer, 1:20 dilution. Now, you take 1 ml of this and put it in the next test tube, 1 ml of this, put it in the next test tube. So, it is serial dilution. So, finally, the amount of serum that reaches here is very, very less. It will be 1:1280. Okay. So, 1:40, 1:80, 1:160, 1:320, 1:640, 1:1280. And the last one is just used as a control. So, total 8 test tubes you took. Did you understand this much? For every antigen, you should do this. So, let us say only for OH antigen, we are doing so much. This one we have done only for the TO, Typhi O antigen, we have done so much. For Typhi H antigen, for Paratyphi A H antigen, for Paratyphi B H antigen, you should do. So you need totally so many test tubes. Okay, now we have left this for at 37 degrees centigrade. Overnight we have left it. Morning we got up, we are seeing this. Okay, so you can see if there is agglutination or not. Agglutination means there is a clear supernatant and there are clumps at the bottom. No agglutination means there is hazy supernatant and there is button formation. Okay, this is butter formation, these are clumps. Got this? Is this clear? Just look at it further if you have any doubt. The highest dilution of sera at which agglutination occurs is taken as the antibody titer. So now highest agglutination is at 1/160 here. So that will be the antibody titer 1/160. Okay. So let us say you take the patient's serum today and you check it as 1/140 has agglutination. Tomorrow his Widal test shows that 1/160 has agglutination. So this rising titer is significant. Any titer is not significant, however a rising titer is significant. Okay, a rising titer is significant. Okay, some things you should note here are, what is the highest titer? What is titer? Titer is highest dilution at which agglutination occurs. Highest dilution at which agglutination occurs. Fine. Now is this clear? Now let me just tell you again from beginning. Say you took 8 test tubes, you can take 7 also. This 1/1280 people are not interested in. Take these test tubes. Now in those test tubes, in the beginning itself, you will put 1.9 ml saline, 1 ml saline, 1 ml saline, 1 ml, 1 ml, 1 ml, 1 ml, so on and so forth. What you do to the first test tube, you add 0.1 ml of patient's serum, just 0.1 ml of patient's serum. Then you transfer 1 ml, you mix it nicely, take 1 ml to the next test tube, then 1 ml, 1 ml, 1 ml, so on and so forth. In the last test tube, remove, it will get 2 ml, right? Just remove 1 ml and discard it. Now this control will just have 1 ml that we are not at all touching. To all of these you will add the antigen. Antigen preparation you should add, don't forget that. You will add the antigen preparation. Now you already, antibody was there, you will add antigen, now that will agglutinate. 37 degrees centigrade overnight when you keep, next day morning when you see if something is there like this. There is a clear supernatant and there are clumps at the bottom. These are agglutinations. If there is hazy supernatant and bottom there is a button formation, that will be negative, no agglutination. Titer is nothing but a highest dilution at which agglutination occurs. So 1/160 is a titer in this diagram. Rising titer is of significance. In India, like wherever there is a lot of typhoid, lot of people will show agglutination. So a rising titer is significant. Fine. So any titer is not significant. In endemic countries like India, due to poor exposure, people will always have some baseline antibodies. Higher titers are significant and cutoff varies from place to place. So a rising titer is significant. If you want significant titer in India, it will be something like O more than 1/100, O more than 100 and H greater than 200. Okay. O agglutinant titer more than 100, H agglutinant titer more than 200. Are you able to see? So these are significant titers in India. Rising titer only is actually significant. Significant titer in India will be O greater than 100, H greater than 200. Interpretation of Widal test we have already covered for you. I hope you remember this slide. If only TO is there, that means it's a recent infection. So still O only is there, H hasn't formed. And it could be any of the three. typhi, paratyphi, anything it can be. If TO and TH are there, then it is Salmonella typhi. If TO and AH are there, it is Salmonella paratyphi A. And if TO and BH are there, Salmonella paratyphi B. If only H is there, that means it is a convalescent stage. That means O has disappeared already and H has appeared. Or it could be some enhanced response of the body. If all TH, AH and BH are there, that means it is a vaccination case. Good. Bye-bye.